the games begin.
Gonna try out this MC tech keep here. A lot of rogues are playing Death Rattle right now, and they usually stack up to like 4 non-bad minions. Bad minion being like a 1/1 kind of. They actually have like creepers and eggs, things like that. They can actually get 4 minions that don't do a lot of damage, so you're not dead by the time that they have 4 minions. Okay, so eggs aren't demons. I guess there's no demons. So it's basically Flamewaker or Light's champion. I might actually not take the Flamewaker because of egg and the Death Rattle part. Even though it does, it's pretty good. But if I want to drop a 3-drop next turn, I might as well take a strong proactive 3-drop. Although, looking at this from another perspective, Flamemaker is like the strongest minion here to drop even just on turn 3. Russ Kipapa, thanks for resubbing. Welcome back to the StrifeCro. Crowfist. So I just need to find some things to do realistically for a couple turns here. Eventually I'll have mana for Flame Strike and Boom, things like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could duplicate and play a Chow. Just trying to fill up my curve these turns. So I'd basically be willing to duplicate any of these minions. Alright, hopefully I steal something good. I think all of them are pretty good here, so... Oh, that might just be the best one. Go ahead and save the coin for Dr. Boom here. Although I actually could have coined out a Chow and tried to use Explosive Sheep next turn. But that's not super reliable. So it's gonna be an egg, or a 4/4 that comes out of here. Just go ahead and play Dr. Boom. I do have Frostbolt and Sheep to deal with the Death Rattle parts of these guys. So even though the Boom bots here aren't amazing, against all these Death Rattles, it'll still help try to clear up the stuff. Nice. The damage on Boom is nice here. That one, actually, since I rolled a 4, it's still nice. I'm thinking if I should drop the Sheep here. Sheep ping Frostbolt. It's not that great. I think next turn maybe. And just drop high health minions this turn with a Frostbolt and a ping. So Frostbolt, ping, that's I have 3 more mana to work with. This is kind of trying to set up for Explosive Sheep next turn. Not really afraid of running out of cards. I have the Arcane Intellect still. My hair isn't as good. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Actually, the board's kind of cleared out now. So it's really impossible for me to trade off the whole board against Sylvanas here because of the Raptor. There we go. don't need to do that anymore. Sheep. Ping the 7/1. Yeah, we don't want a sheep, or explosive sheep. I mean polymorph. The problem is if I ping after the polymorph on the 7/1, it's really awkward for me. But I'm losing so much value. I think it's worth it to try to keep another guy alive here. Actually, yeah, this is a little bit too awkward, I think, to not ping here. It was actually pretty close. Because I get to play a water elemental otherwise. That is a lot of Brann synergy. Just gonna play my minions here though. I do want to dig up my duplicate as soon as possible, or effigy, the other ones. Thin out my deck for the secrets. Plus I don't have any bad minions right now, only a water elemental.
This guy's toast.
Okay, so he has used some of his burst here, and this deck is, since it's a Death Rattle Rogue, it's limited burst. There should be no oils and things like that. Pretty much just the Eviscerates and maybe SI for burst. So I think what we want to do, especially after picking up this Flame Strike and having Brann Healbot value, is just to play double Water Elemental here. It's safe at 19 with 7 power on board. These things have high life, so it's hard for them to kill with spells, and they trade well on board. If he just goes face, he gets punished by AoE next turn, especially a one-way AoE like Flame Strike compared to Sheep now. And since none of his minions trade that well, he has to make the decision of going face or trading inefficiently, kind of. Okay, so he actually traded okay with a spell power eviscerate. He's out of stuff though. I don't need a big minion here with Conjurer, and there's a lot of death rattles. It's very easy for me to deal the last damage to Drake, so I'm just gonna play my double 5-drops here. Since he's out of spells, he has to trade really honestly now. Or he's out of cards in general, so he's pretty much grinded out. Yeah, it looks like I won't be using my AoE anytime soon, actually. It's too eggy. The board's too eggy. Let's take Frost Nova, number 1. Number 2 should be Mirror Entity. Death Rattle Rogue. Death Rattle minions are really good to steal. The good thing still here is that since Flame Strike is a one-way board clear, it's still awkward for him because, you know, if there was no Flame Strike potential, you could say go all face for him, but then he really gets punished. So even though he's taunting up his eggs, he still has to really trade off his minions behind the eggs. Can't really use the eggs with taunt for, I guess, like pressure in that sense. Just trading off everything. Just gonna clear his board here. It's actually okay because I have a Frost Nova to maybe play Sylvanas Frost Nova next turn Flame Strike, because then I can Flame Strike whatever minion he plays this turn. So either move would have been fine. It might have even been better. I guess the only difference is I have a potential to get one more minion, but it's also kind of like I'm wasting the Frost Nova, so it's the downside of that move.
Let the games begin.
I thought about keeping the Zombie Chow, but I wanted to have a higher chance of getting Duplicate / Mad Scientist, and then some of the mid-range minions, Water Elemental, Ethereal Conjurer, Belcher. I think that's important. In the mid-game. I'm going to need to stop this guy. I actually got his coin there. The coin acolyte. Probably makes his mana curve a little bit harder to hit. That's actually good. There's a little bit of a risk with the Scarab, but actually the interesting about Scarab is it's not actually the worst thing to duplicate or effigy. Alright, well it's not good to effigy, I guess. Well, it works out. Duplicate, it's not the worst to duplicate. Because it's a lot of value. This is actually interesting. Guess it's not the worst effigy either. Like Zombie Chow would be a disaster to duplicate. If it was Zombie Chow, I might have even had to do a move that involves killing my own Zombie Chow, but let's go ahead and play around Deathbite a little bit here. And if he drops the 6-drop, other than Sylvanas, I guess, I can just use my stuff. Let's see what I get here. Sheep has to be the correct guy in this matchup. If I have 2 sheeps, I can always use one on a Sludge Belcher or Sylvanas, and then use the other one on Ysera. So me having an extra sheep in my deck allows me to use the other one a little bit more aggressively compared to saving it for Ysera or maybe Sylvanas. I actually can't kill both, but it's very good for me that he has Armor Smiths here in his hand, because it's hard for War to keep their hand size that great.
You want it? I got it.
I guess I can't not do this. As tempting as the counterspell is here. There's no way for me to play around Deathbite anyways. Although I guess if I traded here, I would have played around Fire War Axe. But it does get my Fallen Hero to 1 health against worse. Some amount of ways to deal 1 damage as well. Okay, so there's kind of limited time for me to echo. I feel like the time is now. He hasn't brawled yet. I get a lot of like Fallen Hero is a nice guy. Even a Sludge Belcher or whatever. This mini Belcher is pretty nice. I can't really drop Boom here. It's way too weak. He has Deathbite up. Deathbite plus Execute.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
3/2s late game against Warrior is actually really good. There's the Baron, but
Your turn to fall.
Who are you?
I should have attacked face with that one first. 2 is like the same. I'm gonna still play this slime here though.
I've got the beast in my sight.
Not gonna play the rest. It's a little bit too weak to this Death Spite or potential brawl with him holding a weapon. That's good for me. There's no Baron in his hand for now. I have a lot of high attack minions on board. It feels really bad to trade them both in. As is right now, I'm going to have to trade them both in. I feel like I'm just going to polymorph this. This polymorph is saving me 7 attack damage on board. So, I mean, later on, if he drops Ysera, I might get punished for it. But as of right now, if he plays Ysera, I can almost just trade the minions I saved in for Ysera. Because Ysera's only 12 life. So I can actually just technically just kill Ysera just with these guys. Might take me a couple turns with execute though. I'm pretty close though. I can do 9 damage to Ysera. 6. Actually, I could kill Ysera with Flame Strike. That might be better. Flame Strike's not a particularly important card in this matchup. Plus, I just any Ysera card you stop, just even one is kind of good. So, if you're playing a value game, it's very tempting to. Actually, Water Elemental isn't as important because I do have a Sludge Belcher. I'd rather trade my Water Elemental and then go face and save my Water Elemental and lose my Sludge Belcher to the 5/5. Well, if he's not doing anything, how much damage I have on board? 5, 8, 10 with the hero power with this board. He's gaining 4 return. I'm dealing 6 damage return. I'm going to actually commit a tiny bit more here, because I do want to put him on a quicker clock. 6 damage a turn at 30 life for him is still a 5 turn clock. It's not that fast, but it's not that slow either, so. Okay, I think I'm going to play Boom, then Mad Scientist, not the other way around. Because the Boom bots go first. I don't want to duplicate Boom bots. So if I do get brawled again, it's more likely that I'll just keep the duplicate up and won't duplicate a Boom bot.
I've got the beast in my sight.
I have no time for games.
I think this is decent. Game's slowing down for me though. He's kind of stopping my duplicate with this, but I am kind of playing around these Ysera or the Sylvanas. Well, it's not really stopped my duplicate. Boombots aren't the worst. They're much better than Zombie Chow still. So as far as what he has left, One execute, Despite is pretty big. Minion wise, maybe like a second Belcher. Baron Geddon is the big one. I guess the big ones are execute, Baron Geddon.
I can wait no longer.
That one I didn't think was going to come down for a while, but I guess it's okay.
I have no time for games.
I'm hoping he doesn't have a way to kill my slime, but if he does, he gets a trade for my water elemental, kind of punished for value. But then the good thing about that move is if he does do that, he can't play another minion. I'm actually close to losing on value as well, but not that close.
Let none survive.
Oh, I killed this guy.
Back to work.
There we go. I'm saving the Scarab for that guy. Play for value here. Pre-develop. Might duplicate. Though I can save some mana next turn. Another duplicate. Okay, so Mirror Entity. Might still act like a pain. He's already used his big game hunter. He's used Cruels and Armor Smiths, so I guess I'm scared of the second Acolyte somewhat if I Mirror Entity. The other thing is it does have a chance of getting his Baron Geddon though. I think his last minions are Sludge Belcher, Baron Geddon, but then I'm scared of the second Acolyte somewhat if he has it in his deck. So 7 total cards. If we're going for value, I think I might as well just take duplicate. This is gonna be pretty crazy for me. Get more Scarabs. Shade in the long run is so good. Deathlord, there's no real downsides. It's also a 2/8, so it's really good for a 3-drop.
I'm almost out of cards.
I can use this Deathlord to protect my other guys eventually. I still have a duplicate. I got the Polyborg because of this guy, potentially. Although, if that's his last minion, which I think it is, and we're playing for value, I could Flame Strike this and save Polyborg because I can use Polyborg on one of my own guys to buff it up. But then the thing is, if I Flame Strike, no, that's not good, because these are the only ones that are worth Polyboring. And even if I Flame Strike, I have to trade both of the 1/1s in. Just want to make sure I'd have duplicate up for Deathlord.
I've got the beast in my sights.
There's no way he's winning this game. One card against this. all these like trashy minions from Scarab win you the late game.
Let the games begin.
Might consider keeping this little hand, actually. I really like Scarab against Handlock, potentially, because it gives me something to do a lot early game, compared to just passing. I'm just keeping the Frostbolt in case it's Zoo. Because my hand is really good against Handlock already, with Scarab into Big Game Hunter and Sylvanas. I don't really need to fix my curve. All I need to do is trade better on board. So I don't really need to Scarab into a 3-drop into something. Because I can just play this first, then play Scarab next turn, and then coin out the Sludge Belcher. Even though I'm kind of wasting a mana this turn and next turn, I get to trade better potentially than playing a Jeweled Scarab here. So I definitely want to save my coin. Jeweled Scarab is not as good as pinging the 2-1 because of the 1-1 here. Or 1-2, you can just trade in for free. Otherwise, Duplicate is pretty good. Problem is I don't get the kill as abusive, but I guess that's not enough of a reason not to play Duplicate here. Because I'm going to need to have another turn 5 play after I coin out Belcher, so this will give me another Belcher play, and then Sylvanas. That's kind of good for me, I think, the egg. Can potentially get a target, but I guess that's not as bad as him playing something like Juggler here. He's actually the Flood version, probably running Reliquary Seeker and things like that. These trades are starting to get really bad for me because this is 4-4 against 3-5. And if I want to play Sylvanas, I'm leaving up the 4-4. I'm going to actually take another approach here and play the Effigy here. Pizza Buddy, thanks for resubbing. Welcome back to the StrifeCro. Crowfist. Because if I did want to play Sylvanas, I can't ping the 4-1 next turn after the Sludge Belcher, so this will give me a weaker turn this turn, but a much more powerful turn next turn with Sylvanas and Effigy coming up at the same time. Oh, this is interesting. He has 7-10 damage, and I just top decked MC Tech, so I think I'm going for that one instead. I have a Frostbolt here. I was thinking about Frostbolt the 5-5, but that guy trades better anyways.
Buying or selling.
I can't get a full board clear with Effigy here. I'm still leaving up a 4-4. I might as well just trade and play Sludge Belcher. I have Sludge Belcher Effigy combo. Let me see if there's any breakpoints that would make sense over pinging a 1-1 compared to playing a Jeweled Scarab. Power... Actually, I should ping just because his deck is reliant on flooding the board with Sea Giants and Reliquary Sinker, so I should just ping over playing a Jeweled Scarab anyways. Especially against Sea Giant, it makes the Scarab. He gets like 2 more minions because I play one instead of killing one. Even though I do have Big Game Hunter, it's like he'll still play Sea Giant if he has it. It just costs more mana, so. Not the best effigy. It's okay, I'm not expecting something super good. Effigy minions are usually a lot weaker than the minions people play in Constructed. I'm not killing any of the boom bots this turn, so.
Put this apple on your head.
Not a lot of outs. I guess this gives me 2 draws for a Frost Nova with double Scarab. Ooh, there we go. Now what? I do have a Flame Strike. I guess let's start working on this guy. Oh, nice. Frostbolt. I can actually full board clear here. But I'm gonna die to Doomguard. Wait, there's no Doom... Is there Doomguard in this deck? I don't know if there is. Because I have to take a ping damage if I attack first. Oh, wait, no, I might not take a ping damage.
Put this apple on your head.
I have big plans.
Okay. Not looking good. Ethereal Conjurer into a Frost Nova is a better play, but AI into a Blizzard or Flamestrike is a better chance. I'm still probably dead, actually.